Hey everyone, this is Brooks Campbell, the wonderful voice of Ikmer. I know everyone's favorite character. Before we get into things, thank you to all of our Patreon subscribers. We absolutely love every one of you. And if you would like to get involved, please look us up. There are tons of really cool personal things that you can get into when you subscribe. Also, we want to debut some fantastic news that is going to happen. We are going to have members of the Hideous Laughter crew at PaizoCon this year. We can't wait to reach out and see some of our amazing fans. So if you are there, please let us know. We can't wait to see you in person. And as always, tell us about your friends, family, tell a coworker, whoever it might be. We always appreciate that. Without further ado, this is episode 37, Sleight at the Museum.
Like liquor and things that go boo? Then buckle up, listener, cause this one's for you. Prepare yourself for the Hideous Laughter Podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Hideous Laughter Podcast, episode 37. Whew. You guys are in Lepidstadt, and you're ready to go. I'm excited to see what you do with your first full day. But before we get there, Emily, what are you drinking?
What is this garbage?
I'm unprepared. Good thing it was right next to me. I'm drinking
This episode is bullshit.
Jesus. A hard strawberry lemonade.
Jesus.
Got it.
Haley, what are you drinking?
I am drinking Georgian tea, so vodka and peach tea.
Speaking of people that are peach tea, Steve, what are you drinking?
What?
All right,
Play
well,
off a peachy.
bring this on yourself. This is a real juicy Team Slurp episode.
Oh,
so
God.
Get ready, Team No Slurp, because I'm coming in hot because I'm mad.
Oh, what that's not even
foul.
That's not even okay. That's just
It's a Hams Griffin.
Gross.
Now, Brooks, you were the poor soul that had to submit to the Patreon voted cocktail.
That's right.
What
I'm owning up to it.
What is it you're drinking?
It's a liquid cocaine.
Liquid cocaine. Sounds super tame.
Oh, I know. I plan on taking another one right before going to bed because it's just that smooth.
It's that smooth.
Yeah, it is Jaeger, cinnamon schnapps, mint schnapps, peppermint schnapps, and unfortunately we didn't have 151 at our local liquor store, but normally it is made with that as well.
So, hear tell that you've had some questionable experiences with peppermint schnapps?
No, it's cinnamon schnapps.
Cinnamon schnapps.
Cinnamon schnapps are...
Care to divulge?
Well, yeah, sure, why not? Because, well, anyways, it is a drink that I had in college one time. I drank the whole bottle during that time. Got myself alcohol poisoned over it, so.
Jeez. No,
So you're really ready to get back in the saddle?
Yeah, there are a few liquors that really don't go well with me. And that's absinthe, Jägermeister, and cinnamon schnapps.
Oh, well, you're 2 for 3, man.
I know. I'm ready.
Well, before you drink that, because I want to get your reaction, I'm drinking a White Claw, but it's the mango flavor. Ooh, that's great.
Can't say I'm not.
All right. Drum roll, please.
Wow, he's really taking his time.
It's a bizarre way to forage.
Pouring really oddly. You would pour it out of the straw hole.
I thought he was just going to drink it.
Does it have any air to go through? Yeah. Okay, it's a shot.
Yeah, it's a shooter.
Beat
Okay.
the beast.
All right.
Beat
Well,
the beast.
Cheers, everybody.
Yay!
Oh no. Take that chaser, buddy. You've earned it. So how was that?
Could have been worse.
Yeah?
Oh, okay.
Could have been worse. There's more guys.
You don't
You
think
like it?
You don't think it's coming back up?
No, it's definitely not coming back up
All right.
because I am not 5 years old.
Oh,
Like when
okay.
I started
All right,
drinking.
okay. I was
Yeah.
hoping we get the first peek of the pod, but
Yeah.
alas.
Well,
One of these glory days, probably episode 50.
Yeah.
oh, when I crack open that natty that's been sitting in the back of the fridge.
Also,
Yeah.
That might be more than puke.
Don't worry, I'll get the timeline on that natty, actually.
we're gonna have to pause.
Please do.
Because of that.
Oh, Emily just took a sip.
Oh, that smells so bad. Oh, no.
right.
Oh, no.
Give it here,
It smells.
Malfoy.
Yeah.
All right, make its way around the table.
It's
Oh,
like a mouthful of gum, both mint and cinnamon.
So, like a Big Red and, like, the regular
Actually,
glue?
it's not that bad.
The regular glue?
Yeah.
It's not the worst.
It
but-
doesn't burn as much as I thought it would. It's just like
Wow.
I thought
gum.
the cinnamon was gonna, like, absolutely fuck with me.
It really does smell like gum.
Well, that's exactly what Big Red is. So
No, it's not that bad.
no.
Yeah.
Well,
It's just like Big Red.
next time we'll have to put 151 in there.
Yeah, that would probably do
Haley,
the trick.
Want it?
I didn't Google the ingredients, so I don't know if I can.
Okay.
So,
Then that's that.
Brooks, you have taken one for the team. We appreciate you. Now it's time for the rest of the cast to roll off to see who the next Patreon beverage will be.
And I appreciate the Patreoners for giving that to me.
Oh, fuck me.
Oh boy.
What'd you get?
Let's end on Griffin. I got a 4.
Guess what? We're twinsies.
You're not supposed to roll.
Yeah, you're not rolling.
Oh, okay then, fine.
You just went.
I'm
you
just
wanna go
saying,
again?
hey, I'm just trying to do my part here.
I got a 7.
I got a 17.
Natural 1, baby.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
You know what that means? Nothing but hard liquor.
Give me the liquor drinks. Give me the liquor drinks.
All right. It's decided.
Okay, why don't we hop into imagination land, take a step into the flat of Embrith Daramid. She told you to finish your drinks last time. She has just tasked you with finding out some information on the beast. She needs an unbiased party to act on the beast's behalf. You see, Lepidstadt is completely biased against this monster. And as a judge, she doesn't want to stand by and participate in an unfair trial. She's asked the 4 of you to act in somewhat secrecy, find out information on the beast, and potentially present it at its trial.
All right. I'm excited.
Now, there are likely 2 paths that you can take this morning. You know that where the beast was captured is just now being somewhat cleaned up. It was an active crime scene. Most of the investigators have finished their work. And so you might still be able to find some details on what happened there before it gets fully cleaned. You also were told about a man named Montagny Crow, who is professor of antiquities at the University of Lepidstadt, and it's his department that got ransacked. Ambrith also told you that you could go straight to the courthouse. You could meet with the beast's defender, Barrister Koppel.
I think we should start gathering evidence before we talk to the defender. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Definitely, because it's about to be like cleaned up even further, and that could mean evidence being taken away, or we just missed some based on the cleanup.
Yeah, you do have a bit of a ticking clock on that one.
So I think that's what we should do first.
Okay. The University of Lepidstadt is not difficult to find. You recognize the square that you walk through as you head in its direction. You see the university was actually one of the first places you would have passed through as you headed into town, and it is adjacent to the square in which the riots were happening last night. You make your way there, and upon arriving, you see a large stone and marble building with a sign reading Museum of Antiquities. It has a long, wide staircase. As you approach, you can see that it's kind of bustling for as early in the morning as it is. Make me a perception check.
Also, if this is in the morning, Ikmer would have sharpened his sword.
Matumbe would have prayed as well.
I think you both did that last episode.
Just did it again to be sure.
Yep. It's extra sharp.
Extra sharp.
So he can shave off his minimal beard that's growing in.
Okay, good. It's getting less and less minimal these days.
We're seeing him grow up before our eyes.
So what'd you guys get?
Perception comes up to a 19.
19?
10 here.
16, unless it's for disguises.
Nope.
Okay.
5.
Okay. So those above a 15 would be able to see that the people bustling around and they're coming out of the main entrance and back in. And you can kind of see as they enter and exit with the doors open, you see that people are starting to clean. But it looks like a tornado blew through in there still. There's wreckage all around.
We must hurry. It looks like we still have time, but it looks like the crime scene is being cleaned up as we speak.
Well, maybe this crowd isn't such a bad thing. We could possibly use it for cover if we really needed to.
That's a fair point. We should enter now.
Okay, so you guys approach the building and enter through the wide double doors. You're greeted by a large atrium, completely disheveled. Bookshelves overturned, pottery smashed on the ground. Trinkets and papers are kind of just scattered across the floor. You're greeted by a man, and he looks a bit disheveled, but kind of excited by the commotion.
Well, hello. You don't look like the cleaning crew we hired to, assess the damages here and help us clean up our beloved museum. Who might you be? The museum's closed to the general public until we get it put back in order.
Hi there. We're looking for Dr. Crow. We have a few books to give him.
Oh, well, you've come to the right place, my dear. I am Dr. Crow. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, I'm so sorry. My name's Lyra.
Hello, Lyra. What books do you have for me?
Did you know Professor Lorimore?
Oh, Petros. What a friend, what a great colleague to have here at the university. How do you know Petros? What books? I did lend him a few books.
We're here to return those books. He was like a mentor to me, and now that he's gone, we're carrying out his last wishes.
He's gone? What do you mean?
Oh, you didn't hear?
No. Hear what?
He's dead.
There may be nicer ways to say that.
I can't believe I wasn't told. The professor and I went way back. We were, I thought we were great friends. Wow. Okay. What books did you bring me? He had a couple that were outstanding from my collection. A couple strange ones to pick up.
Well, about those books, so Judge Umbrith mentioned that she might be able to, well, help us out with holding on to them a little bit more. You see, he was doing some research, and we think that they could further help us.
Pardon my asking, but how do you believe a couple of, well, truly evil, pretty vile books are gonna help you out? What do you need them for exactly?
The subject itself we are studying is evil. These evil tomes could go a long way in helping us discover more about it.
Make a diplomacy check.
Sure thing.
19 total.
Yeah, 19 would do.
Well, I suppose the professor's had them for a couple of years. I don't think anybody's gonna miss them much. We haven't missed them so far. As long as you can promise eventual delivery, because they are valuable texts, but I don't think we need them terribly in the moment here.
Oh yes, I am a man who very much greatly values books, so you have nothing to fear. We will not lose or tamper with them in any way. Speaking of things that have been tampered with, it appears that this wing of your museum is in need of repair.
You must be new to town.
Do I look like I'm new to town?
A little bit. I'm not sure how familiar you are with the trial of the Beast. The Beast of Lepidstadt's on trial. He trashed my museum here, and oh boy, oh geez, we're a little devastated here. I mean, look at all the knowledge we lost. Look at it; it's trashed. We're gonna have to be collecting for hundreds of years to get the collection back to what it was.
What was lost?
Well, many things were broken. And we only actually lost one item. Well, there's only one thing unaccounted for, and we're doing our best to clean up. Hopefully we can find it, but it hasn't turned up yet. It was a strange little artifact. I kind of enjoyed it.
Well, we have a detective with us who probably is pretty good at finding stuff. We can help.
That's right. I am Ikmer, and at your service.
Oh, wow. We're so happy to have another set of eyes to look at the crime scene. I can tell you a little bit, what we're looking for. It's small. It's made of green sea stone. Little figurine. It's of some tentacled creature. We called it the sea sage effigy.
You said you appreciated it. Was that for the history of the item? Maybe some sort of intrinsic value or some otherworldly property?
Well, I myself appreciated it because of the mystery behind it. We've had many scholars look at it. It doesn't seem to represent a deity that we can think of. We're not really sure exactly where it's from or why it was used. I don't even think it's intrinsically valuable. I mean, you could pull that kind of stone up from Lake Carthen if you wanted to. It's not rare in any way, so to speak, but it's just an anomaly. It's strange.
How interesting.
I do have a bit of a theory on it, though. And since you guys have the books, you've probably heard of the Dark Tapestry. Yes? No? Maybe?
Yes.
Once or twice.
We've heard rumblings.
Yeah, sure.
Oh.
I've definitely heard of it.
Roll a pull. He's actually rolling it. Go for it.
True to his character, it's a 3.
So, my theory is that this isn't really a venerating a god. It wasn't venerating a god, but maybe, perhaps it was venerating something from behind the Dark Tapestry. Things back there seem to, the whole tentacle thing. Yeah, I've heard stories that might be similar. It might be some old god that we don't really worship on Galarian anymore.
That's all very, very interesting. And, from my perspective, I would think that Lyra actually has more experience with C-word things, I guess. And you can explain that more to her, but I'm definitely more interested in how you think the beast went through the museum, possibly like how he got in.
Oh, well, I'd be happy to show you where, we expect he entered the museum, and he would lead you to kind of like a back foyer.
Perfect.
You would see that the door appears to be broken off of its hinges. Go ahead and make me a perception check.
Or a survival, hopefully? Or maybe not yet.
On this one, you could use disable device.
Oh, I don't have that. So
I mean,
yeah,
you
it's a-
perception
that.
or disable
All
device.
right, perception would be... It's an 18 for Ikmer.
I got a 24.
Anyone else?
I had a 16.
5.
You would all know that this this door appears to have been kicked in. And you can tell because the way the hinges swing, it wouldn't knock the door. The door would knock all the way down if it was broken into from the outside. It would have just busted open from the inside.
A beer always helps me think.
You would then be able to see, like, if you wanted to make a survival check or something around the ground, you might be able to look for tracks or something.
Yeah, that's definitely... That is a 15 for Ikmer.
18 off the die for Matumbe. Goes up to a 22 for survival. Goes up to a 24 because track.
I forgot about that.
That's right.
So, Ikmer, you're looking at the scene, and you can tell that it's been decently disturbed. I mean, people have been coming and going, trying to clean up. There's a lot of footprints. Matumbe, you see these, and probably because of the weight behind them, you can still make them out. Large footprints coming in. It almost looks as if whatever was wearing these boots that made the tracks had like nails embedded in the boots.
Oh boy. It appears that this indeed, if the door was not evidence enough, certainly is where the beast came into the museum. Professor Crow, I have a question for you.
Yes, what is it?
If the beast is in custody, then how is there a missing item?
Well, we thought that somewhat curious as well. I mean, his person was searched, and it didn't turn up on him. Granted, he's pretty imposing, and I don't know how thorough the search was. It may be that it's just somewhere in the debris here, but
With that 24, would I have been able to see if anything else came in with him?
with the 24, it's a little difficult to time the tracks. I think you can only make these out because they're so big and, and have nails at the bottom of them, which may lead you to believe that something else coming in with him without the same, weight maybe wouldn't have left as long-lasting tracks, but you're not sure.
Okay.
Dr. Crow, has anyone been particularly interested in this artifact in the past few months?
Well, no. I mean, like I said, it's not particularly valuable. It's hardly even a popular exhibit here. I mean, people look at it and maybe think it's cool, but most people that are interested in it are just interested for their own intellectual curiosity more than anything.
How did you come to have this artifact?
Well, we got it off of a trader, probably 5 or 6 years ago. Somehow, dealing in rare and strange items. So that's how we come across some of these. Some are donated by the likes of the Pathfinder Society, and others we just kind of pick up and maybe see the value in more so than other people. I think this was one of those cases.
Professor Crow, who caught him?
Well, the guard ended up catching him. Some of the staff was alerted to his presence, and those of you above a 15 looking at the door would remember a kind of like a silk thread that appeared to be broken. Anyone with knowledge arcana can make it.
Yeah. No. Yes, I have that. Natural 1, so a 9.
19.
15 off the die, that's going up to a 23. I'm rolling hot tonight.
Yeah, Matumbe is the only one that knows that this would have had the alarm spell on it, and so when the beast broke in and when he was captured, you would imagine he was at least found relatively quickly because that spell was triggered, and so it would basically be shrieking.
Magical security system.
Right, but who was the first on the scene?
One of the staff. They promptly ran away.
So, are you saying that there was indeed someone here when he broke in, no?
No, roughly 10 minutes had passed. You see, he broke in the middle of the night. People aren't allowed to stay in the museum, but we do have night guards at the University of Lepidstadt, so one of them was first on the scene. With those survival checks, you can pretty easily follow the path of the beast into this auditorium. It's got a raised, basically viewing area with a long oaken handle, kind of so people can lean up against it and look down below. Make a perception check here.
17 total.
Ikmer's a little less perceptive with a 2.
Oof.
6 on the die for a 13.
11 for Lyra.
So, Matumbe, in this room, you're kind of smelling the air, and it has this scent of beeswax. Seems
Not the bees.
strange to you. The bees!
It's a Wicker Man reference for all of those who definitely don't get that.
Yeah, Haley.
I didn't get it.
Oh, I'm sorry. This can also be survival. If anyone has that, you can roll it separate.
That won't help.
Does anybody else smell those bees?
It's actually another 15 for Ikmer.
You have survival as well. You want to roll it?
Everyone has survival. It's a strength.
I didn't realize that was a different check as opposed to. Okay.
I got an 8 for survival because I have a +0.
My survival goes up to a 20, unless it's tracks, and then it's a 22.
Nice.
Am I trying to track the bees?
You're partially tracking, but you would have got it with a 20 anyway.
Cool.
You see, uncharacteristic of the fine oak. Now this handrail is relatively worn from people leaning against it, but you see distinct scratches on it. About midway through, finding these scratches, you head to the place where the rail is scratched and look down. You see that the tile down below is cracked, as if something heavy had fallen from up here down into the viewing area below.
Is there any debris down there, like something like a big artifact fell and shattered, or just cracked tile?
Yep.
Ikmer, Eclipse, Lyra, come over this way. It looks like something was either pushed or fell over onto the floor below.
That's very interesting, Matumbe.
I think we should head down there and see what's going on.
Hey, Griff, can I make potentially a, knowledge engineering check to approximate, how heavy such an object would have to be?
Yeah.
Can I make that check too?
Yeah.
I am not rolling good today. Got another 6, plus 8, so 14.
I got a 25.
Man.
Damn,
This is the
son.
best I've ever rolled on this show.
You're the new detective. You're going to take the title.
Give me that God's damn badge, Ikmer.
He'd fight tooth and nail for that. Or he'd just cry.
Time for PvP.
He'd probably just cry.
It would take something at least 600 pounds to crack the tile, and that would be at the low end of your estimate.
600-pound object fell from here.
Do you think the beast was in a bit of a struggle with somebody else in here? He might be over 600 pounds.
Make a knowledge local check, those of you that have it.
No.
Not Ikmer.
Or well, no. We'll use knowledge local for this.
Pretty low, guys. 14.
Nobody else has it?
No.
No.
No one else is local.
Ikmer, make an intelligence check.
Ikmer.
Awesome.
I have a +4.
How to tank the party.
That's right. With a 16 on the die.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
You remember Zokar telling you that the beast was 12 feet tall. Now, by your reckoning, a creature that size potentially would weigh even more than that.
Okay.
Well, guys, based on what I heard from Father Zokar, he was about 12. The beast was about 12 feet tall, about half as tall as, twice as tall as I am. And, well, I'm not half of 600, 300. I'm not exactly that much. So therefore, I'm not 100% sure it would be necessarily the beast that fell from here.
Okay.
Why don't we ask Dr. Crow what was over here?
Also, Dr. Crow, this is where the sea sage was held, correct?
Oh, the effigy? No, my boy. It's actually through the. If you were to drop down into the atrium, there's a door that heads to the workshop where, it's kind of a more intimate viewing area, if you will.
Oh.
I think we should head down there. I think perhaps the beast jumped over the railing or something, and maybe he was carrying something at the time that increased his weight.
That's a very good point, Matumbe.
Wearing armor or something, potentially?
Yeah, you're turning out to be a pretty good detective.
That means a lot coming from you.
So,
let's go down there.
Dr. Crow, do you mind if we, take a look down there?
Oh, not at all. It's an absolute mess in there. But yes, feel free.
And he would lead you down, which you realize you have to exit the area that overlooks the auditorium and enter below in order to get into the lower level.
Did he actually tell us what was being viewed down here?
It's like an auditorium for lectures.
Oh,
You can imagine like people would be up here. There, you see like a podium down there, so it looks like somebody would be lecturing to a group of people in this area. It's not like a viewing area, and that's why it's mostly clean. It appears to be.
Got it. Why did he take us in here?
You followed the tracks of the beast into here.
Oh, God. Okay. Personally, I'm a bit more confused than even Ikmar is.
So you follow these tracks through the lower level of the auditorium and into the workshop. Now, as you open the door here, you see that this room maybe looks the worst for wear. It looks like, bookshelves have been purposefully turned over. You see stuff like shrunken heads and shattered pottery, all sorts of knickknacks all over the floor, many broken. Make a perception check.
Dr. Crow? Where exactly was the sea sage kept at? Was it also down here?
It was in this room.
Okay.
Everybody, perception check results.
Natural 1, so 8.
Jesus, Haley.
17.
24 total.
With the 12 from Ikmar.
Okay. Lyra and Matumbe notice there is one area of this room that looks untouched. It's a podium, and the podium is covered in pearls and carvings of fish and sea aquatic life. Ornate. And I think Dr. Crow would see you guys looking at that area, maybe heading towards it. You'd say, oh, that's where the effigy was kept, on that podium.
It's beautiful and also fairly untouched. It seems like maybe it was taken, and she would go up and touch the ornate work.
I mean, what do your characters think of this? It's like the only area that's clean.
Matumbe looks over to Eclipse.
Eclipse, I have seen before that you have a certain affinity with the history of objects. Would you mind coming over here and telling me if you could pull anything interesting off this podium, considering that it is untouched in this room of destruction?
Yeah, and Eclipse will put down the shrunken head she picked up and walk over there and touch the podium.
What Eclipse sees is an undisturbed room. Nothing touched. Nothing shattered. No bookshelves overturned. And she feels as if the weight of an object is lifted off of her. And then she comes back.
Well, guys, this was taken before the beast.
I see.
Should I have said that out loud?
Make me another perception check, folks.
It's coming back. 4 on the die. That's 10.
19 for Ikmar.
Ooh. Only a 15 for Lyra.
18 on the die, so 25.
Nice.
Eclipse is the only one to know.
Dang it.
And I think you all are kind of searching around this room and examining the podium and that kind of thing. Just trying to get the lay of the land. Eclipse passes by the waist-high windows in this room. Large, leaded windows. And maybe it's just because she's low enough to the ground that the sills are kind of right in her face. She notices that of the 3 windows, 2 of them, covered in grime, look like they haven't been open in ages. But the middle one, that appears to have been opened recently.
Can I use my psychometry to touch the recently opened window and get more information about historical significance of the last thing that touched it or used the item?
Yes. Is that how that works? Is there no save for me?
Kind of like object reading, but based on appraise checks. Once a day, I can concentrate for a minute. When I'm in physical contact with an item or location, I will receive flashes of insight regarding the subject's nature and ownership, and I would gain a specific piece of information about the historical significance, the last previous owner, the last thing that touched it, the emotional state of the last owner, etc., etc. And so I have to make a DC 15 appraise check.
Okay.
And then I learn 1 if I make the DC 15. If I exceed it again...
By 5?
Actually, by 10, I get another piece of information, but I can concentrate for an additional minute and, keep getting potential information.
Okay.
So, I am gonna try that appraise check, and hopefully I roll okay. I have a +9, so, it's hopeful.
Yeah, so
Nice.
potential for you to beat it twice.
Yes. Ooh, okay, yes. I rolled a 14, so 25. Exactly twice.
Wait, I thought you said you have a +9. Does that make it 23?
Just kidding, I did math wrong.
Yep, you did.
Oh.
My bad.
So I need to tell you about the last person that touched it.
Essentially, yeah. I get basically visions that would tell me something of historical significance or something about the last person who touched it, etc.
It's night. You're looking through the leaded pane of glass into the workshop, into the Museum of Antiquities. The window begins to open, and you see a disfigured face, a huge hand lifting this window. The beast stares back at you. In its other hand, a small green idol. You take it. And then we fade back.
Thank you. So, Professor Crow or Dr. Crow, this has been really helpful information for us in our investigation. Hopefully we can get back to you with some notes, but we're gonna go talk to that guard, aren't we, guys?
Yeah, and if that statue turns up, I would love to see it.
Oh, yeah, feel free. We don't charge admission at the museum. It's more for the spreading of knowledge, and so if we ever get it back, feel free to come back. I really appreciate everybody's interest in this. It's heartwarming that anybody gives a shit about the weird stuff I study.
Where there is death, there is always rebirth. I'm sure your museum will bounce back to life very soon.
I appreciate the sentiment. We're really hoping we can get it cleaned up in short order.
That's very true. I mean, we really appreciate all you've done and letting us keep the books for at least a little bit longer. And we'd love to come back when the museum is in tip-top shape.
Oh, well, don't mention it about the books. They'll do better with somebody that actually wants to read them than sitting on a shelf.
So we're walking out, right?
Yep.
All right. As we walk out, can I do some sort of spellcraft or knowledge arcana to see if this looks like, or even survival or something, to see if this looks like a natural path, or if this looks like someone who's been controlled? Because it's super destructive. I can't imagine, like...
I will let everybody aid one person.
On what?
On a survival check.
All right. Which one of the two of you, Matumbe and Ikmer?
If it's tracks, I got a +6.
I got a +5 already.
Let's let you shine. Let's let Ikmer shine. Boy detective.
All right.
Fucking Christ. I rolled a 19 off the die.
Oh.
15 off the die for
Okay,
here,
okay.
I aid with a 16.
I definitely don't aid.
Okay, so 20 with my total, +2 from Matumbe, +2 from Eclipse.
24?
You don't know.
Damn it.
19 probably would have got it, though.
Son of a bitch.
Oh my
25. DC 25.
You're not sure. But
Boy, I feel like if I did this myself, I could figure it out.
Also, if Lyra tries to detect magic, is there any sort of lingering, intense magical auras that she sees?
no, I mean, she sees faint auras from some of the knickknacks and stuff that are slightly magical, but no lingering aura of some magic that occurred here that is no longer here.
Okay.
I say we move on.
Yeah, E would start ushering people out of here too, because she wants to talk in private.
I think that was pretty obvious from your tone.
Yeah, I figured.
Eclipse's tone.
I just know, like, she would, any pleasantries at the end type of thing, she would be like, all right, come on, type of moments. So, once we're out of the museum, is there a, like, alley or something where we think we wouldn't be heard?
Sure, yeah. I mean, it's the middle of the day. The dark alleys probably don't have many ruffians in them yet.
They're not extremely dark. Anyways.
I am the night.
So E would turn to you guys. Alright, so, you know I have the whole psychic kind of stuff sometimes. Well, the beast gave the statue to someone through the window. Like, I saw that. Which means the beast didn't take it, but beast gave it away. I don't know why. We might need to talk to the beast.
So maybe he was working for somebody or was compelled to do something he did not want to do.
He still broke in, though, so, I mean, as far as the law goes, I think we should still keep that in mind. But I agree. It seems a bit odd that he would break in just to give it away.
Right. Why would he do that?
Did you have any idea of who it was he gave it to?
Unfortunately, my visions kind of work how they want, whether I like that or not. So I only saw through the person's eyes, and so I saw the beast, and my hand reach and grab the statue.
Okay, so we have a mystery figure potentially pulling the strings. Who do we speak to next?
Maybe the beast wasn't all alone right away, you know?
We could talk to the guards to see if they saw any suspicious cloaked figures lurking around.
Absolutely. Certainly worth doing. We should speak to them.
So you guys heading to
Lepidstadt University Guards.
the Lepidstadt University Guards, not the courthouse.
No.
Okay. So you would head to, kind of like the gate, front gate of the university. That's where the guards are usually posted up.
Hello? Who is the guard that caught the beast?
Well, that'd be me.
Yes, hello. My name is Eclipse. What is yours?
My name's Shirley, but don't call me Shirley.
What do you prefer we call you?
Cheryl.
Cheryl?
Cheryl.
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 Is that one syllable or two?
It depends. Depends how you like to say it.
Earlier that night, did you see anyone out of place? Maybe walking around the outside of the university?
Nah, can't rightly say I did. I came upon the Museum of Antiquities because the screeching alarm that went off. I was at my post here.
Did you observe any cloaked or hooded figures outside stalking the premises?
Well, I can't say I had. I came in through the front door, saw this gigantic monstrosity, middle of the room, raging and tearing shit apart. It scared the bejesus out of me. I didn't want to take him on by myself. He would have torn me in half, so I waited for the town guard to come back me up, and he would just running amok all through the museum, tearing apart things, tearing things off the wall. I don't understand it. When we finally took him, he came peacefully.
When you heard this commotion, were you inside the museum or outside the museum?
Like I said, I was out here at my post, and I heard the alarm from the museum, so I went to check it out.
And you are sure you did not see anything on the way?
No, I did not, sir.
And can you, the days to come, leading up to the event, did you possibly see anybody then?
Nobody. I mean, it's a big university, but nobody I was suspicious of.
And what about the state of the beast that when you first saw him, did you think that he was, did he look like he was in his right mind?
No, sir. He looked like he was far from it. Out of his mind, tearing things apart. Some kind of blind rage. I don't understand it. I mean, again, I'm surprised he calmed down and was taken relatively quietly.
You've been in this town for a while, right?
Yes, ma'am, I have.
Does the beast have any friends or anyone that supported him?
Nobody is friends with the beast, you crazy lady. He's a beast. What are you trying to reckon over there?
I'm just saying, everyone has family.
I don't know that beast has family. I ain't never seen nothing like it.
Well, all right. If he was a loner, he was a loner.
Where does the beast live?
Rumor had it that for at least a time he was living in the Dipplemere swamp. That's where people saw him most frequently, it seemed.
Do you think anyone ever went to visit him?
Not that I ever heard of. I mean, I don't rightly know where he even would have lived in such a swamp.
Okay. It sounds like maybe we just have to go talk to the beast.
That sounds about right. Thank you for your information, Shirley. I mean...
Cheryl?
I wasn't supposed to call you.
Cheryl? It's Cheryl?
Sure.
So, with this information, can roll me a knowledge local or a knowledge arcana.
Ooh, I got that one.
We back, baby. That's a 26 knowledge arcana.
I rolled a 15, so 23.
Nice.
Anybody else roll?
Nope.
A 4.
Okay.
So, you guys have just gathered a lot of information. And I think one thing seems strange to those of you
with an above 20 knowledge arcana. Seems strange that you're not sure what kind of magic might have been used, but from all you can tell, especially from Eclipse's visions, seems like the beast came in relatively calmly and with a purpose. Seems like he went straight towards the podium with the sea sage effigy. But when he was found, shortly thereafter, he was in a blind rage, tearing apart the museum.
So, if the beast came in, like, with a plan, and went out with, like, a big bang, in a rage, we need to figure out what the heck was his plan. Why did he come in so calm, and then hand away the effigy, and then run out and destroy everything?
Maybe he was trying to, or whoever was orchestrating it, was trying to cover up the fact that they took an artifact.
Sometimes I just get really mad, I guess, and so then I guess I would be raging. Is this what this is?
I think that's close to what this is. I think what happened is the beast came in with an objective. He achieved that objective, and then the second part of that plan would be to trash the place on the way out to cover up the theft.
So, are you saying that he wasn't mad at something? I guess I don't quite understand.
No, we'll explain it to you later.
I think it would be helpful if we could talk to the beast himself. Maybe he still has memories of it. Ed Dunn didn't seem to want us to actually talk to him. Maybe we should talk to his lawyer first, and then we can convince him that we should talk to the beast.
A lawyer?
It's someone that helps you talk legal talk so that you have the best chance of getting off free. He's a helper.
Oh, got it. So that's who I would, I don't know, give my evidence to, because I'm the evidence guy.
Not quite. Let's not share all of it yet, but eventually maybe.
Let's talk to this lawman and see what he has to say about the beast.
Okay, so you guys are heading to the Lepidstadt courthouse.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think Ikmer now has a very vague idea of what raging is.
Okay. So, as you approach, you see a large, squat building dominated by an enormous clock, and it's overlooking the town square. A huge figure of wood, roughly man-shaped, stands in the square in front of the building. This is the square you were in last night. The large, squat building being the Lepidstadt courthouse.
Okay. Is there as many people as there were last night?
No, you can see that although there's like debris and stuff around the square, it's business as usual.
Okay.
And there's no guards or anything outside the doors?
Outside the doors of the courthouse? No.
So let's just walk inside.
I mean, it is a public building.
Right.
Pretty sure they will let all of us in.
So, as you enter, you guys place yourselves on the map. God damn,
But courthouse doors, though, maybe.
Maybe. So, you see ornate pillars. They appear to be supporting a balcony about 15 feet up. Beneath the balcony, wide steps lead up to a huge iron-bound door. Printed public notices are posted on the wooden board next to the door. Presently, these notices detail the upcoming trial in long-winded legal language.
Is there normally somebody just kind of waiting here?
You actually do see a acting Sergeant Dunn sitting in this entry room. It provides access, this room, to most of the other rooms in the courthouse's ground floor. You see a heavy iron trap door that covers a stone stairway that leads down to the jail and the cellar below.
It's our friend.
Oh, hey gang, what do you need?
We've been kind of poking around town, and we think it would be helpful if we could talk with the beast's lawyer.
Gustav Koppel. He's in his office upstairs.
Is it okay if we go up there?
Oh yeah, by all means, go ahead. And so you guys head up the stairs to the second floor of the courthouse.
Okay.
Oh, man.
You guys ascend the stairs and enter on what appears to be a courtroom. This courtroom is actually relatively grand. You see it's paneled in dark oak. It has a vaulted ceiling, roughly 25 feet high. There are 3 throne-like chairs with built-in lecterns for what you can imagine would be judges. The witness stand is directly in front of the judges' seats. 2 polished mahogany desks, one for the defense and one for the prosecution, stand facing the justices' chairs. You also see an iron restraining chair with 6 sets of manacles for the accused. Make me a knowledge, local or engineering.
Engineering.
None of those.
I'm up to a 9. It's not good.
I rolled a 3, so 11.
Oh.
You don't know much.
Cool.
You can hear noise coming from the door directly to your north and from the door to your to the northeast.
Do they have name plaques on them?
They do, in fact. The door to the north says prosecution. The door in the middle says judge's quarters, and to the northeast says defense.
Defense it is.
We kicked down the door of the prosecution.
Guys, is that, chair for restraining, is that the one where they have to tie the judges down all day?
For all you know, yeah.
Dude, that was a great callback to the last episode. I gotta give you props for that one. That's pretty good.
Before you leave this room, you actually look up and you see that there appears to be this large atrium area. You'd imagine that might be where people not directly in the trial would view it. It's about 10 feet up.
Okay.
Do you proceed to the defense room and knock on the door?
Yes. Yep.
You knock, and this imposing, he's maybe 6'2", he has kind of like sharp features, opens the door and looks at you. This is what he looks like.
Imposing with sharp features. It's like Agent Smith from The Matrix.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, balding.
Hugo Weaving. New casting.
New casting. Hugo Weaving. Got him. And he would introduce himself. Hello. My name is Barrister Koppel. Pleasure.
It's nice to meet you. My name's Lyra.
What brings you here, Lyra?
We've been doing a little bit of investigating around the town into the beast. We are neutral parties in the case, and we want to make sure we get to the bottom of this. If he's innocent, we want to make sure he's set free.
Well, I am defending him, but I do kind of believe that he may be guilty.
That doesn't sound like the right mindset for his defense.
I am relatively neutral as well, but the circumstances and what I've been able to find don't support his innocence.
We have some new information, and I think we can gain more if we could talk to you further.
Well, please come in.
Thank you. And I guess we would all shuffle into his rather small office.
Yeah, you can see he doesn't have enough chairs for all of you guys. His desk almost occupied, like it's like a squeeze for him to kind of get past the wall on the desk.
And then we'd close the door as well.
Okay.
Matube stands in front of the door.
So you have the vested interest in defending the beast.
Not. We just want to make sure that he has a fair trial. We've seen people under the effects of various spells that they do things that they don't want to do. They're innocent, but they commit these crimes. We want to make sure that if he did what everyone says that he did, he goes through with this trial. But we just want to be sure if an innocent man is going to be killed.
Well, I assume that you haven't met the beast.
Nope, but I would like to.
We'll see if you singing the same tune after you meet him.
Could we meet him? I think it would definitely help. We think he might not have been alone.
Follow me, and then I'll give you the details on his trial. And he would lead you back downstairs. He would wave to Ed, as if to say, they're with me. And you would go down the hatch and into the basement, into the holding cells. You descend the cobblestone stairs into this dimly lit jail below the courthouse. To the north, you see empty cells. And to the southeast, you see a large cell. I think maybe it was used to hold groups of prisoners, but the figure you see before you, no man could ever be that large. You see this hulking monstrosity chained to a seat in the cell, no less than 12 pairs of masterwork manacles tie him down. He looks up at you, his greasy hair partially in his eyes.
What do you want? To hurt me again?
No, of course not. We're here to help.
And you see him kind of grit his teeth. He starts to struggle a little bit at the chains. Barrister Koppel grows a pale hue. He's intimidated by the beast's actions.
Wait a minute. We're telling the truth. You see, we're just here to talk. I actually think you and I might have a little bit in common, you know. See, I'm not exactly the most pretty guy either.
No, you're not. What is your name?
Well, my name is Ikmer, but a lot of times people just call me Ik.
Why are you here, Ikmer?
Well, we've looked around the museum, and we actually just want to hear your side of things, 'cause Well, we're just trying to really figure out what actually happened, because, well, you know, we just want to find out.
The beast looks up at you. You can see him kind of in the flesh. Part skin, part fur, feathers, a mongrel. He's stitched together, and the stitches almost look as if they're bursting at the seams. He has this, again, tuft of greasy hair and these lime green eyes that kind of stare at you, and stare into you, and stare past you. And as Ikmer mentions the museum, he begins to shake. And he starts to shake at his manacles and the chair. And it almost seems as if the chair and the manacles won't be able to hold something shaking this violently. And he starts yelling,
I didn't do it! I didn't do it! I didn't do it!
Oh, I believe you. In fact, I think you actually know and saw who did.
and he begins shaking more violently as if he's kind of slipping.
Wait, no, I let me calm you down. Let me calm you down.
Before you calm him down, I need you to finish your drink, because we'll see you next week.
I knew it.